Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Akiyam. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. I would also like to give a double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. I would also like to say peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000 men of Israel, which consists of the servants, the prophets, whom have been ordained since the foundations of this earth to sing this new song, which comes in the form of this gospel, which will be preached throughout all four corners of this earth and rest upon the ears of the innumerable multitude, men, women, and children of Israel, who may be scattered throughout all four corners of this earth. Shalom. Hey, Shalom, beloved Akiyam and Akwaf. It's just Bayan back again through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And I just wanted to get into, a brief live stream through the spirit and power and mercy of the Lord. And pretty much talk to this article I found a couple of days ago through the spirit, which once again is talking to prophecy. It's honing in on one of the plagues that are foreseen to come upon the spiritual Egypt, okay, which is America. But a couple of days ago, what have you, the spirit hit me to do a lesson going into the fecal contamination, of the coastline, pretty much this whole east coast, and parts of the west coast as well. The ocean is fecal contamination is taking place because of high pollution or what have you, but and the lack of governance of Esau. But needless to say, it's a form of a plague, all right, that's going to be sent upon Babylon the Great, man. Okay, going into in Second Esdras, it tells us that the Lord will send plagues upon Egypt as before. You see, and again, that's one form of the plague, right? That happened to ancient Egypt, and ultimately, this article I came across is going into famine. I'm sorry, not famine, but famine's gonna come out of it. Blackouts. You see, so ultimately, the article is gonna speak for itself. But needless to say, as Esau pursues, this diabolical agenda, right, in the form of this fourth industrial revolution, and efforts to bring forth, this technocracy he's fantasizing about. All right, he's actually running into big issues. Bear with me for 1 second. Just want to share this video real quick, just in case I'm being shadow banned through the spirit. But needless to say, let me see. Yeah, let's leave it right there. Let me do this too. But anyway, I just want to share this video real quick through the spirit, just in case I'm being shadow banned, because Esau's been shadow banning videos. But anyways, Esau's running into issues as he pursues this diabolical plan. All right, he's pretty much falling headlong. You see, and as he tries to, perfect, this infrastructure, all right, for this new digital system. Ultimately, he doesn't have the energy. Okay, he doesn't have the supportive energy, all right, to bring forth this diabolical plan. And what's happening is, the grid is being crippled. You see, and ultimately, if they don't make moves sooner than later, all right, which prophecy tells us that this place is gonna be blocked out. All right, if they don't make moves sooner than later, the lights are going up. Okay, and we know what's gonna happen when the lights go out. When the grid goes down, life as you know is gonna stop. Okay, and at that point, it's gonna be you, all right, as an individual, and Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And if he's dealing with you, you're gonna be delivered out of that. If not, you're gonna fall victim to it. You see? And this is the times we're coming into, man. Okay, we're coming into the times of plagues being sent. Okay, on Egypt, man, Babylon the Great, aka America, man. Plagues are being sent. We in that time, and guess what? Scriptures tell us when the Lord visits this place, it's gonna come in its perfection. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that's Isaiah, the 47th chapter. Matter of fact, we can probably just open up with that through the Spirit. But yeah, man, this article is gonna run deep. Bear with me real quick. The book of Isaiah, chapter 47, and verse 8, verse 9 is the point. Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, right? And we know this is speaking to Babylon, which is America, right? But this chapter is speaking to Babylon. But needless to say, making the point, this place is given to pleasures, man. Okay, as you can see, these people are living deliciously, man. Okay, you even got you have bums that are proud, man. You got proud bums in America, man. Okay, that's how you know this place is eating. You know, hey, these people are wax proud over here in Babylon the Great. That's why the judgment is going to be so grievous. You see, look. Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, right? Hey, at the end of the day, because this is a first world country, these people, hey, they have no care in the world. This place is not struggling like other places around the world, man. All right, Yahweh Bashim Shah has fattened you people up over here in Babylon the Great. Has allowed you to become settled on your lees, okay? Which was all in efforts to fulfill prophecy, because at the end of the day, all right, you people are going to be the sacrifice when all judgment comes into effect. Isaiah 34, man. When the Lord brings forth that sacrifice upon Basra, man, which is the capital city of Edom, which is talking to America, man. That prophecy is talking to America. All right, contrary to popular belief. So you people becoming fattened up and, you know, proud, you know, and in a mindset where you think you can't be touched, hey, you're in a perfect condition to get visited with grievous judgment. You see, look, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children, right? And this is the mindset of the Edomite. You see? This is the mindset of the ruler. This is the mindset of these Amalekites, man. Right? And the scriptures tell us, Sirach 10, the way the king is, so are the people. Roughly paraphrasing. You see, so his energy, okay, Esau's energy is pretty much what's being generated upon you people. So you people are projecting that same energy. You see that? Esau thinks he can't be stopped. Right? This is why they think that their houses shall continue forever, as the scriptures tell us. Okay, they name streets after their names, and, you know, landmarks after them, after their family family line. You know, this is the pride of this demon. Pride of this demon. Look, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment, right? In one day. The loss of children and widowhood, okay? They shall come upon thee in their perfection. For the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments, man. All right, and this place, you know, has been operating under the guise of witchcraft since its inception. All right, straight up deception, lying, deceiving. You see? But there's a penalty to pay for that at the end of the day. And again, the scriptures say it's going to come upon you in its perfection, man. Okay, when these plagues are sent, all right, there's nothing that's going to be able to turn them back. As it tells us in second Esdras 16. Let me get this, though. Let me go to second Esdras. I'm not going to get that. But a precept just came to mind real quick before I grab this article. Let's go to second Esdras 16. I think it's like 37. Here we go. I'm going to start at verse 35 and jump down. The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 16 and verse 35, and it reads, "Hear now this, and understand them, ye servants of the Lord." Right? Ready? I'm jumping down to verse 37. "Behold, the plagues draw nigh, and are not slack." Okay? The plagues are drawing nigh. And again, one of the plagues that are going to descend upon Babylon the Great, spiritual Egypt, America, is darkness. All right? And we're going to get this article. Darkness, man. Blackouts is a reality. All right? And it's funny, right? It's not funny, but it's ironic, rather, that when you tap into the plague of darkness that came upon ancient Egypt, it was the 9th plague. Okay? It was the plague right before the Yahweh Bashim Yahushai took out all the firstborn of the Egyptians and cattle, everything, man. You see, showing you how close we are to the end of this place, man. We're that close to the Lord reaching out and touching these niggas, man. You see? It was one of the most mysterious plagues that came upon Egypt, man. And what's so heavy is we had light, though. Okay, here it is. Well, we were dwelling at. And as a matter of fact, the scriptures tell us that when you go to Exodus. I believe that's in Exodus 9 or maybe Exodus 10. Lord willing, we're going to go get it. Well, I want to get this article first, though. Right? We had light while they were covered in darkness. It tells us darkness so dark that it can be felt. They were groping. Okay? The Lord had did them filthy. So imagine how it's gonna come into its perfection on this side, though. You see? Man. Let's get a little more. "As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringing forth her son." All right, 2nd Esdras 16 and 38. "With 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb." Right, she's having contractions, right? Her water broke. Right, that baby's coming. There ain't no way around it. Look. "With 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth. And the world shall mourn, and sorrows shall come upon it on every side." And again, over here in Babylon the Great, aka America, it's gonna come into its perfection. When it hits over here, okay, it's gonna come in its perfection, man. Okay, because this is the end game. This is the end game right here. Babylon the Great, the mouth of the beast right here, where we at. Okay, this is that lake of fire you read about in Revelations chapter what's that, chapter 19, chapter 20, I believe in chapter 21 as well. This is that lake of fire, man. This is that lake of fire, man. Okay, right here in Babylon again, not some river, okay, that niggas are talking about over at Genesis. Okay, no, right over here. This is gonna be after those 200 million warheads touch down. This place is gonna be likened unto a lake of fire, man. It's gonna be through. It's gonna be a heap, a burnt mountain, as it tells us in Jeremiah. All right, when the nations pass by, they're gonna hiss. Scriptures tell us at this place, man. It's gonna be a complete and utter KO. How the Lord's gonna do it, right? Now, real quick. Let me go to the article. Where's it at? Oh, okay, here we go. It's right here. Now, real quick. This is from Natural News. All right, dated September 1st, 2025. And the title reads, "America must face the looming power crisis," man. America must face the looming power crisis, man. And again, let the article speak for itself. Right, look at this. The United States, it's teetering right? It's teetering on the brink. And when you're teetering, you're about to fall over. Look, it's teetering on the brink of a catastrophic power grid failure. Why? Driven by unprecedented growth in electricity demand. Due to what? The surge of artificial intelligence, data centers, and electric vehicles is straining our grid systems, man. Potentially leading to blackouts, okay? Potentially leading to blackouts, right? The Biden administration's green energy policies are exacerbating this situation, threatening not only our economy, but also our national security. As a nation, we must wake up to the immediacy of this crisis. We would have hailed Babylon, but Babylon will not and cannot and is not, all right, gonna be healed. See? Unbeknownst to these people, this is the Lord visiting this place, man. Okay? This is right before the Lord. Man, but let me get a quick precept. The book of Jeremiah chapter 49 and verse 7 real quick, and it reads, concerning Edom, right? Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, Yahweh of armies. Is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perish from the prudent? Right. Is their wisdom vanished, man? The Temans being the Germans, right? The wiser of the Edomites. The Lord's raising the question here. Has their wisdom vanished? What their counsel, their prudence, what's good with them? You know what I mean? Ultimately, you see Esau moving, all right, with this fourth industrial revolution, but he's making mistakes. He's making dire mistakes, where ultimately it's not profiting him. Him building up this infrastructure, right, to be able to support his technocracy he's trying to bring forth, right? This government based around technology, right? You being on the grid, all right? They're trying to bring forth these data centers, right? All this is straining the grid. They don't have the energy again to bring this forth, but they're gonna for Esau's he's gonna go for broke, you know. So ultimately, a blackout's coming. This again because it's prophecy. We know this because of prophecy. At the end of the day, we know the reality behind these blackouts is due to the prophecy. Prophecy tells us. The Lord told us that he will send plagues upon Egypt as before. You see? And one of the plagues, again, the 9th plague that come upon ancient Egypt was darkness, man. That was the 9th plague. That was the plague before the Lord started deleting. Okay? Again, showing us how close we are to the Lord really reaching out and touching Esau, man. Let's get a little more. Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan. All right, Jeremiah 49 and 8. For I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him, man. Right, and Esau's calamity is going to come into perfection when the missiles fly, man. Okay? When the Lord's sword that's going to be bathed in heaven comes down upon him. That's the end game. But prior to that, there's going to be a buildup. You see? The Lord's not going to, it's not going to be a mercy deletion, how the Lord does, oh boy. You know, in his system. It's going to be a long, drawn out choke out. You know, with him being revived and blacked out again, revived and blacked out again, right? Let's go here. Let's go back to the article. Right? Hey, it's beautiful, man. I'm jumping down. I'm going to jump down in this article. Right, check this out. It says, act now before it's too late. It's already too late. Esau's through. It says, act now before it's too late. Look, listen to this, Akiyam and Akwa. The future of America's energy security hangs in the balance. All right? Demanding immediate action to avert a potential blackout disaster. Okay? Hey, look, the White House has taken the initiative by declaring a national energy emergency and outlining a comprehensive strategy to address the impending shortfall. However, the responsibility extends beyond federal executive action, right? You know, Esau's in the spirit where he think he can just stroke from a stroke of a pen on a piece of paper. All right, things are gonna change. No, man, that's not this kind of party, bro. Hey, the Lord's here. The Lord's playing. The Lord's visiting you now. You're no longer a golden cup in His hand. Okay, the tables are turning on you now. Okay, you're no longer being showed that favor. You see, your time is running out. Look, hey, and the plagues are being sent. However, the responsibility extends beyond federal executive action. Power companies, local governments, and citizens must also contribute to securing a reliable and stable grid. By acting now, we can prevent a potential humanitarian crisis and preserve the technological advancements that make modern life possible. Okay, because when these lights go out, all right, these people are completely helpless, man. You know, because we all came up in a society, you know, where we've been pamping, man. That's just the reality, man. Coming up in Babylon the Great, you've been pamping. You know, we've been in a position where we could just go to a grocery store, everything's ready. You know, you can get food, you can Uber Eat, you can, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, it's crazy. You know what I mean? Like the way we live over here in Babylon, man, it ain't really like that in other places, man. You know, and throughout this beast system, you know, these other European countries and stuff, like they're living deliciously, man. You know, but the Lord's gonna put a stop to it. You see, the Lord's gonna catch these people blindsided, man. And the beautiful thing about it, when this happens, He's gonna be dealing with His elect. Lord willing, we're part of that precious number. The elect are gonna be being dealt with. Look, the clock is ticking, man. It says the clock is ticking. Yes, it is, E. It's clicking, it's ticking. Yes, it is. Okay, and Esau knows that too. That's why he has that doomsday clock that he can't take his eyes off of, man. All right? Look at the decisive steps are crucial to securing the future. You have no future, my boy. Okay, you have a future, but it evolves around chains and fetters of iron. All right, and then ultimately eradication at the end of that. Look, let us not delay in safeguarding our power grid and the prosperity it sustains, man. So, as usual, you know, Esau's in denial. You know, the realities before him, you know, in regards to his demise, but he's in denial as he always been. Okay, he's in denial. You know, but the one thing he's not going to be able to avoid, Esau cannot avoid prophecy, and that's the spirit. Because yesterday at camp, you know, the spirit gave us the title for the camp. Prophecy is unavoidable, man. Prophecy is unavoidable. Doesn't matter who you are, who you think you are. All right, how much money you got, it can be liquid, whatever. Prophecy is unavoidable. You're still a victim to prophecy. Okay? You're still going to be in a position where you are playing out prophecy. Point blank, period. Right? And I wanted to grab Exodus, the 10th chapter. I had mentioned it earlier. We got to grab that. I think it's Exodus 10, if I'm not mistaken. It's down at the bottom. Yeah, here we go. Yep. The book of Exodus, chapter 10, and verse 21. And it reads, And the Lord Yahweh said unto Moses, Stretch out thine hand toward heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even darkness which may be felt. Okay, it was so dark it can be felt, man. This same darkness is going to come upon spiritual Egypt. Okay, America, as it's coined in Revelations. Spiritual Egypt. Spiritual Sodom and Egypt, man. And this darkness is going to come into its perfection. Okay, look. And Moses stretched forth his hand toward heaven, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt 3 days. Okay, see, in this case, it's going to be longer than that. Okay, look it. They saw not one another, neither rose any from his place for 3 days. But all the children of Israel had light in their dwelling, man. Okay, so there was light in Israel's dwellings, man. Showing you that the Lord was dealing with his people. And this time, the Lord is going to be dealing with his elect. Okay, so when the lights go out, okay, when death and destruction and famine increase, all right, guess what? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is going to be dealing with his elect. This is why scriptures tell us, his servant shall eat, his servant shall drink. You know, at the end of the day, the elect are going to be preserved and protected. Okay, and they're going to escape the said perils, man. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, because at the end of the day, it's the Lord that's bringing this, man. This is the visitation of the heathen. You see? This is the visitation of the heathen. Let me get this real quick. The book of Revelations, chapter 18. This is what I want. Revelations 18. I'm going to start up then jump down. Bear with me. The book of Revelation, chapter 18, and verse 1. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power. All right. And the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen. It's fallen. And again, this Babylon the great is talking to America. This is talking to the daughter of Babylon. Right. And has become the habitation of devils and the hold of every foul spirit and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. And that's the climax of this place falling. All right. That's after this place gets hit. All right. With that divine fire that's going to come in the form of ICBM missiles and direct energy weapons from those chariots. Jumping down to verse 5. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai hath remembered her iniquities, man. So everything that Esau's done, all right, the shedding of the blood of the saints that soaked this land, all right, all the atrocities he's done to the saints, to the Lord's people. You see, all these atrocities he's done. As much as he's trying to sweep them under the rug, you know, you got Trump calling himself rectifying the Smithsonian's history, all right, trying to desensitize the true narrative of the history, all right, that's already in place, man, regarding the atrocities they've done to us, man. Okay, listen, no matter what, you ain't gonna be able to sweep this under the rug. The Lord remembered, man. The Lord got you on his scopeo. Okay, and it's the Lord that's gonna come do you in. Jumping down to verse 8. Therefore, show her plagues come in one day. Death and mourning and famine, man. Okay, and that literally, a blackout will bring all three of those things. A blackout will bring all three. A blackout, let it be blacked out here for a week or two, man. It's over, man. Death, mourning, and famine is in full effect at that point, man. You see? People are gonna run out of food. Cannibalism is gonna be on in full effect. These people are gonna turn back into their beastly nature, man. It's gonna be a complete madhouse, man. Okay? And guess what? The Lord's gonna bring that. Because famine's on the table. The Lord said there'll be famine, teeth of wild beasts, silver unrest. Okay? Look it. Pestilence. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day. Death, mourning, and famine. And here's the climax. And she shall be utterly burned with fire. Okay, that's the climax of this bitch's visitation, man, by the Lord. Who's behind this? For strong is the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, who judgeth her. Okay, so it's the Lord bringing this, man. Okay, the judgment, this is the thing. This is what these people don't understand. Okay, it's going to be a divine visitation. What's about to come upon Babylon the Great is going to be divine. It's a judgment that's not of this realm. Yeah, the missiles are of this realm, right? But guess what? When you read the book of Jeremiah, it tells us that those are the weapons of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai's indignation, man. So those belong to the Lord. Okay? Those missiles belong to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. I'm gonna go to the comment board real quick. I know brothers were lighting it up. Let me get something from here for the brothers. Hey, Shalom, beloved Akiyam, and Akwaf, hey, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Barakatham, to you and your household. Shalom, Shalom. And let me get a couple of these real quick, and then we'll close out through the spirit. Khan, hey, Shalom, Kazak Ban Yahweh, beloved Akia. Shalom. Woo! Beautiful precept to close out with. Amos 5:18 through 20. Woe unto you, destruction unto you that desire the day of the Lord. A lot of you wacky-tacky, bugged out so-called Christians don't know what you're asking for. All right, when you call yourself hastening the day of Jesus Christ, as you say, you have no idea what you're asking for, because you have no idea the power that you're talking to. You have no clue. Okay? The scriptures tell us that the slain of the Lord upon his people, when he comes back, the slain of the Lord shall be many, man. Many are going to perish when the Lord comes back. The Lord's coming to plead with all flesh, which means judge. He's coming to judge. And this is why, hey, we hoping and praying to be in the Lord's good side, man. All right, the Lord's coming to level niggas, man. In more ways than one. Okay? Look, continuing on. To what end is it for you? See? The day of the Lord is darkness, beautiful, and not light. Showing you that this blackout is of the Lord. This blackout is of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. He's sending this, man. Just like he did in ancient Egypt. As if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. There's gonna be a catastrophe on every side. There's not gonna be nowhere for you to run. There's gonna be nowhere for you to hide. Once you thought you escaped one situation, you're gonna fall into another one until you ultimately fall victim. If the Lord's not dealing with you, you see, or if the Lord's not dealing with you. Continuing on, Amos 5:20. Shall not the day of the Lord Yahweh be darkness and not light, even very dark, and no brightness in it, man? That's the spirit. That's the perfect precept to close out on a lot. The water. Okay? And this is the reality, man. All right? And through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, from the elders and the apostles on down to the like-minded men, you're being warned, Jake, because we know you're watching these videos. Okay? We know you in the background, eavesdropping, knowledge grabbing, scorning, and scoffing. But guess what? As the scriptures tell us, your sins will be your accusers in that day, man. And you're going to regret not hearkening to the report. Okay? You're going to regret it. Because, hey, guess what? The blood's off of our hands. All we're here is to bring it out and then roll out. Whether you hear or whether you forbear, man. And Lord willing, you beloved Akiyam and Akwaf will edify through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Lord willing, you will spiritually fed. Abaratazah. Lord willing, Akiyam and Akwaf, Lord willing. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. A double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. Hey, Shalom. Shalom.